Streaming.
All right, let's go.
Okay, hello. Are we live? Hello, hello.
Yeah, it looks like it. I can see the stream.
So once the first person says I see it, well, I'll consider us actually live. I actually got an email notification. I don't need the notification. I'm running the damn thing. Hello. Okay, so we are live. Wonderful. Hi everybody. My name is Drew Universe, or Drew for short. I am the community organizer, unofficial for Legend of Dragoon, and I wanted to make sure we got some more exposure for this particular project. The reverse engineering that Corey or Monoxide has been doing has been fascinating work. It's still very much in the early stages, but we feel that it's worth showing this off. It's actually playable now, and it'll only get better with time. So, although many of the updates so far have just been getting the thing to run, we do already have some advances that we'll be sharing with you while we do the playthrough today. And each successive week, we're trying to do this every Friday if possible. There will be more and more improvements with each live stream in the future. So say hi, Corey.
Hello, everyone. I am Corey/Monoxide, and I have spent way too much time on this project in the last 2 years. Welcome, everyone.
So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you what it'll be like for all of you to do this. Basically, we expect this project, this unofficial PC port, to replace emulation. It's like emulation in a way, but it actually isn't, because it's this program is not built to pretend to be a PS1. It will not have those restrictions. So we're going to show you how we do it now, and it's basically going to be the same for you when you try this out. You'll need to provide your own legal disk backups, digital disk images from your physical copies. But once you dump those to your computer, you can legally use our Java software, our Java file here, to run Legend of Dragoon in a more optimized way. So I am going to start that now. Also, a disclaimer, I know we didn't warn anyone in advance, but currently the game cannot play music. That is a whole other feature that needs to be built, and LOD is a complicated mess in terms of code. So what we're going to do to supplement that is I'll just be playing some extended OST soundtrack stuff from another YouTube channel, and that'll help carry the mood a bit, I hope. So, without further ado, this is the folder that I'm running the project out of, and we've got all these different little files here. This is a subfolder where we keep your disk images, and we've got other folders for shaders and font stuff, and save files as well, and all the other good old stuff. We will also give you controls so that you can know what the controls will be on keyboard. These keybinds, I think, will eventually be customizable. Is that right, Corey?
Yeah, they are hard-coded right now, but once I get around to making a configuration interface, we will do full key binding and proper controller support. We have basic controller support now, but it's not
Yeah.
great. Works
And
best with Xbox controllers.
yeah, so I will be playing with an Xbox controller tonight myself. And so first, I'm gonna show you our launcher. Now this
One sec.
go ahead.
We got someone saying quality is bad. I seem to be able to see it okay though. It's looking fine on my end.
There should be quality settings up to 1080p, 60 frames per second. Maybe try that.
Yeah, I'm currently watching it in the 720 and it looks pretty good on my end, so.
All right, others are saying it's fine, so we'll continue for now. I'm
Okay.
gonna run the launcher. So you just click on this. We've got two working names for this right now. The one I finally came up with recently was Severed Chains. That being, you are free to sever the chains of fate that bind you, the iconic quote from the game, mainly in that like trailer video that starts up with the game. And unfortunately, I mentioned to my roommate that I was looking for another name potentially, and they said, well, how about reloaded and just take out the A and reloaded. So that also has caught on quite hot in our little dev community. So that might also be the name. I like
It's
both.
so bad, but I just
It's
like I feel like we almost have to use it.
yeah, it's a thing. Either way, both are good names, and so this is the launcher that you'll see. It'll be about this size. Um, we'll have tools on the side in the future to do things like manage which mods you want to enable or disable, kind of like Dragoon modifier right now. We'll also potentially look into importing your save files so it's easy from if you currently have a playthrough on other emulators, you could potentially just carry that over. And this center box here will be showing the latest news in the fandom. So what we're going to do is part of why I think it's a great thing to unify the fandom and like centralize everything is that we can bounce off each other with our traffic and everything. So we're going to have our latest news from legendofdragoon.org here as well. So you can, if you're just playing the game, you can see the news at a glance without having to go straight to ld.org. And then if you see a news item you like, you can click on it and it will open your web browser. This screen will also double as like a debug area. So the launcher will be checking to see if your files are all in order in terms of like the DLL files it needs and the font files it might need or whatever. And if it detects an issue, it will tell you and you can check and verify that. And then once it's all green and good to go, then this launch button will appear and we can launch the game. So I'm going to do that now. There will be a command prompt which tells you everything it's trying to do to make the game run. It's all technical stuff. If you're not a coder, you probably won't understand it. That's fine. You can keep that minimized. And then here we have the game client, which has a few enhancements already, but it will have more in the future. So I'm going to get my controller, which thankfully I remembered to keep plugged in.
I would just like to say what you're seeing now is running natively. This is not emulation. This code is actually running on Windows. And I say Windows, but it is cross-platform as well. We don't currently have support for this just because I haven't had a chance to like remap the control schemes and stuff. But it'll even run on things like Android phones.
Yeah, being able to do this on mobile is going to just blow my mind. I know that for sure. All right, so now on the stream overlay, I'm just going to switch it to only show the game so that is more of a thing. Let's get rid of that and that. I don't have a fancy overlay set up for this right now, so we're just going to dive right into it. Deal with the force 3 aspect ratio, please. And we'll start a new game. So while we go, I will occasionally play and change soundtracks just off another YouTube video to supplement the fact that we do not have sound in the game yet. But this is still an amazing technical feat nonetheless. We're just going to do a regular playthrough and go through the game naturally. And we'll also field your questions. Corey will be able to answer most of your questions, I'm sure, as we run through this.
So we do have some graphical glitches still. You may be able to tell by looking at rows that the texture mapping on the models not quite working properly. This is all stuff that will come in time though. There is no sound at all at the moment.
Technically, there's a little sound.
Technically, there's a little sound. Some of the Dragoon editions you can hear, and it's very abrupt the first time. It's, to be honest with you, I didn't even realize that I had the Dragoon magic sound working. So I was just sitting there in complete silence one day, used one of Dart's Dragoon spells, and he just starts yelling in my ear. That was a bit of a bit of a startle.
So here's Dart.
Yeah, a little sound is a treat.
Dart has red pants now. It's a thing. I wish we had modded that in on purpose. His armor, it looks like his armor is literally on his kneecap there.
Yep.
I didn't notice that before.
It's funny because some of it works. Like you can see that his chest armor is
Mm-hmm.
look, but just not all of it.
Now, this is very pixelated, of course. However, just like with regular emulators, we'll have most, if not all, of their uh, general suite of features, such as internal resolution upscaling. So not directly upscaling the assets, although we will do that too. But this is just soft upscale. So when I hit the Control Plus, oops, let me put it in the front. Control Plus, you see everything's a little sharper now. So Control Minus, it's all pixelated. Control Plus, it's a little bit better. Pixelated, better, pixelated, better. I can actually go up to higher resolutions, but it is currently very slow as we're running a software renderer. Eventually, it'll be changed to OpenGL.
Yeah, we'll be rewriting the entire rendering code for the game to use OpenGL, and then at that point we'll be able to just go wild with it. So I mean, a 1999 game in OpenGL, like it'll run on anything.
Alright, so we've got Fairbrand here. I guess I should run some battle music of some kind. Let's do Boss Battle 1? Actually, no, not that one. We don't want number 2, because that's the one they used. There we go. That's the one they used for this scene. We'll just pretend you hear dragon sounds and Dart screaming for his life. You can actually, if you've played this game enough, you can hear all the sound effects of like the dragon walking and everything. I hear them in my head. That's how many times I've played this crazy game. It's actually slowing down a little bit, so I will drop it back down to 1x for now.
Yeah, it currently uses just a terrible software rasterizer that I wrote as quickly as I possibly could, just to kind of, you know, get things off the ground. But yeah, that's one area that we'll be able to make huge improvements in.
Wait till they see battle. So, the
Yeah,
dragon can't
yeah.
find us, the dragon's gonna veer off, and we'll get a chance to talk to this mysterious warrior for a moment. Thank you for saving me. What the heck was that? It's a dragon. So Dart's realizing,
music
oh
begins.
no. What was that?
Dramatic music begins.
Yeah, we're still running the boss music on the stream. It's very dramatic already. I don't have the finesse to switch between all of the songs the game uses, but I'll change it occasionally. So we can go to we can change the tension.
Hyrule Flower. Yeah, that is basically it. I started off doing it completely manually. I have since written a tool that does at least a bulk of the work for me. But it's still quite an involved process. XZ, the game script is actually loaded from the ISOs in the same way that the retail game does. It's Hyrule Flower, it's written in Java, not JavaScript. We use Java just because it's so very easy to make it cross-platform.
Alright, so now we have control of the player. Now hop over the fence and see what's up. This is some of the examples of graphical glitches. There's a green on this Sandoran soldier there, and for whatever reason, the beams from the save points just go straight into the air, up into the sky. Some of them are really long.
It's a very powerful save point.
It's very important to save your progress.
Yeah.
Just like my
you really want to be able to see it in the distance, right?
My teacher in high school. Has everyone done a save recently when we were working on Photoshop and stuff like that? So Dart instantly gets branded as a mercenary. It's really, really strange that his legs have like the same kind of armor texture as the chest. Just like even more like Zeeg.
Yeah, it really does look like him.
All right, so we got the first battle. I guess I should do a battle song, which I'm gonna copy this over. I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna move that over one, and we'll do battle one.
Henry E, yes, it is at least 10 lines of code.
Okay, so here we are in a battle. Sometimes, like we warned, not everything is fully functional yet. This is very early days, so sometimes changing the camera does not work. And
so the camera in combat is quite jittery. Occasionally there are some strobing lights and things. So if anyone is really sensitive to strobing lights, maybe combat is not great to look at. It's not like terrible or anything.
Yeah, just be a little forewarned that when doing additions in particular, it's going to be really jittery. Alright, so we've fought off the two standard soldiers there. I'm going to check with the villager. It's okay now, the Messiah is here, everything is going to be fine.
Hyrule Flower, actually, I just removed about, what was it, 6,500 lines of code the other day. That was all stuff just used to talk directly to PlayStation hardware. I don't even want to know what the actual line count is, but there's multiple classes that are over 10,000 lines each.
Oh, this chest showed up. Some of the treasure chests are still invisible, but this one is not.
What a keener.
Some people were asking about the fast battle speed. That is, it can load that fast. It can actually load a little faster, but I think you purposely slowed it down, Corey, because it was a little jarring.
Yeah, that battle loading, that's not even optimized yet. That's still mostly just using retail code. It's just so much faster because we don't need to read plots from a CD.
You want to repeat that last sentence? You cut out.
Oh, sorry. It's only so much faster because we don't need to read files from a CD. We're just reading directly from the file system. Once I actually go through and optimize that, like we'll be able to load into battle basically, you know, sub 1 second.
Mm-hmm. With a lot of emulators, you know, they can provide a lot of great enhancements, but certain things just don't go faster or better because they're trying to emulate a PS1, and this does not have to follow any of those restrictions.
Yeah, Legend of Dragoon actually, some emulators will allow you to speed up like read speeds. Legend of Dragoon does not play well with that.
So now for a reveal of a feature that you're going to be able to do. In PlayStation 1 and emulators, you only get 15 save slots. And while you can have very many save states in emulators, I think Beetle gives you at least 100 save states, if not more. The save states can sometimes be less stable. So instead, while you will still be able to do a save state in this program, we're going to give you extra save slots. So right now we have 42 save slots, and I'm going to make a new one.
Yeah, we actually have unlimited save slots.
And the save completed instantly. It was an instant save. There was no waiting. Some of you may remember that when you are in the world map, loading and saving, or just saving your game takes longer, so that will not even be a thing anymore on the world map either. Nice, fast saves, lots of save slots, you're all good to go. So part of, LOD's flaws, one of its many flaws was the game is just very slow to get through. We're planning, hopefully, if Corey is up to it, to do many kinds of improvements that increase the speed of the, I guess, cutting out the dead time. So potentially having fast forwarding through dialogue prompts automatically, or these save and load times being faster, battle transitions being faster, just shortening all that dead space so there's less time waiting and more time doing.
Yeah, I think the speedrunning community will be happy about features like that. We do plan on implementing like quick text, cutscene skips, all kinds of fun stuff like that.
Looks like I'm getting a bit of a graphical glitch from one of the old text boxes.
That
smoke?
flickering that you're seeing there is smoke, yeah.
Okay, my bad.
It's supposed to be smoke.
Okay. Just want to make sure it wasn't a text box.
Yeah.
Okay, so shortly here we're going to have another battle. Technically the first boss battle, if you can count it that. It definitely counts as a boss battle if you're playing on hell mode. It is so hard for me to get past that.
I still have to get around to trying that.
So Dart wants to know where Shauna has been taken. Commander says, don't worry, we're taking good care of her.
That one soldier has a very green sword.
Yeah. Alright. So we're going to follow them to Hellena.
You wouldn't want to say a swear, Drew.
God, hell doesn't count. Alright, so we're in battle. Still can't change the camera, that's fine. Let's do an addition. Now this is also something that still needs to be implemented, but right now, technically, additions autocomplete for the most part. I did not know this for my first multiple days of playing. So I thought, even though I wasn't seeing the white square flash, there's no flash for that right now. I was like, oh well, I must be doing great. And it turns out
Drew is just thinking, man, I am great at additions.
I am good at additions, but without the white square overlay, it's kind of hard to tell, Oh, got hit with a burnout. 4 damage. So just to show it, I'll also use a burnout. It's a little hard to get a good multiplier right now, but let's see.
You
112.
You have to press the buttons slower than you would think.
112%. That's nice and high. Now we're just doing burnout trades.
If currently if you mash it, it actually works less good than if you press it more slowly.
Mm-hmm.
But that's something that we'll address, obviously.
Look at those snazzy graphic effects.
Yep.
Double slash. That's the other thing. I hope I just happened to think of everything I wanted to mention because I only have a small list prepared. But with any luck, I would like to talk to Nogard, the project lead for the fan dub, about helping us create voice mods. If we can get permission from those voice actors within the fan dub project who are doing, Dart Lavitz and all their additions, could we bring those voices over potentially and make a voice mod at some point as an optional feature? Alright, so we've defeated the commander, and Seles is safe for now. Seles. I keep calling it Seles because I'm so used to that since I was 12 years old. Level 2, and we got Volcano.
Yeah. The first time you pronounce something, it really sticks.
So now I'm gonna stop this music and look for this one. Not that one.
Alright, so while we got this cutscene going, I'm gonna answer a couple of questions.
Sure.
Let me see, there was one that I was looking at. Jeffrey Toma asked if battles will be 60 frames per second. I do plan on doing higher frame rates with animation interpolation. So, long story short, yes. Vorthod Viler asked, does it still do counterattacks on longer editions? Yes, it does. The game ideally will be identical to retail.
I would like to quickly add on to that, on the frame rate, that currently there is a frame rate adjuster. It doesn't work perfectly yet because the game has its own frame rate limitations, but we do have a temporary control with the plus and minus keys. So if I go into the game and I do this, you'll see that text, that little red triangle for text boxes is running slower. And you'll see the character is walking very slowly right now, so we can adjust the frame rate down to 5 FPS and up to and technically over 60 FPS, but since it's a software renderer, it will not get that high even with a good processor. I've got a 10900K i9 processor and it still is very slow, but that will change when we have the OpenGL.
Yeah, it'll change very drastically. XZ asked if there will be any game balance adjustments or customizations planned. So we're actually going to have a full modding API. And using that modding API, users will be able to basically customize any aspect of the game they want. We will be providing a few mods, such as like hard mode and hell mode, like what you can currently do with Dramod. But anyone with basic Java knowledge will be able to make their own mods as well.
I never get tired of this NPC. He thinks the world's all about him. What are you gonna do about my feelings towards Shauna? What about me? I don't have the character's name on hand. Krasis was asking me the other day and I forgot, but this NPC is actually named in either the manga or the novel that was officially produced. I forget the name, but this character is in there with the name, so FYI. Let's grab a Stardust. This one? That one. So we've got our first Stardust. And we'll head off into the great beyond. So tons of fun. 2000 says, finally get to see what all the weapons look like with a different model. Yes, that is a goal I have personally. That will probably be much farther down the line, but the main thing being customizing the models should be a lot easier in this reverse engineered project than it would be in regular emulation. And it helps that there's extra motivation from the Chinese strategy guide. Now, for those of you who don't know, it's typically the Japanese strategy guide that was given information straight from the game developers, unlike the Prima guide, that has all the juicy info in it in the Japanese guidebook. The Japanese guide has like a 300-page walkthrough and dozens of pages on lore, extra lore information, game mechanics, even the damage formulas. However, for all of the comprehensiveness that book has, it's the Chinese strategy guide that has some exclusive content I've never seen anywhere else. and that is that they have little illustrations about 1 centimeter by 1 centimeter, really tiny illustrations for all the different weapons as well as consumable items, which is very extensive. So armor, equipment, we're not looking at changing armor right now because that would be a whole nightmare, I think. But as far as weapon models go, it would be very cool to have the models or animations hot swapped out like that. The Soul Eater looks weird and magical. The Pretty Hammer is actually pink and sparkly and colorful. One of Rose's weapons looks like an actual whip, so we might need to modify that look a little bit. But the point being that these illustrations were made, and I'm 99% sure they are official illustrations. And it would suck to see those never come to light in some way. So it would be great if we can at least create some basic low poly models that do them some justice. And texture.
Well, you don't want to implement whip physics?
I mean, you know, if you want to put that in, I'm good, but I figure your list is as tall as it needs to be. But you know, no, considering how far this fandom has come over the last 20 years, and especially over the last 5 years, we've done some crazy stuff already. So why not raise that ceiling even higher and just keep pushing the limits? I mean, that's kind of why I called this the Severed Chains project, because it's, you know, Fate would say, you know, it's an old game, we're gonna find some improvements, but nothing too groundbreaking. That's usually how most old games go. They get a couple mods, if that, especially obscure stuff that's not popular. But then here we are with like a whole reverse engineering project with you, the archivism that I've been doing for the last 5 or 7 years, and everybody else's work. Doom Metal with the model extractions, Flying Zamboni with all that first script overhaul pointer data, and Zamboni and Zychronics doing the upscale project. Like, we just keep pushing the ceiling higher and higher.
And of course, a lot of these projects can actually be integrated into the into this as well. Like the script overhauls, someone was just asking about script edits. We'll be able to integrate the script overhauls, we'll be able to integrate the upscales, and even do a lot of stuff that can't be done with modding, or can't be done easily through standard modding, such as like model edits.
Exactly.
Someone asked about our streaming schedule. We will be doing this every Friday at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern, same time as today.
Yeah, barring something that comes up, I would say most every Friday is going to happen. And if and when that changes, we will let you know. You can always find out the latest news and changes on legendofdragoon.org. What was I doing? Oh, I was going to buy some items.
Hyrule Flower asked, can you play the whole game now in this state? How far can you go? The entire first disc is fully playable. We haven't encountered any part that cannot be played. I have personally played through up to almost the Linus fight on the second disc. It is likely playable past that. That's just as far as I've gotten so far. I've just been sort of playtesting as I work on it. Many other parts of the game are actually fully functional as well. You'll just encounter certain pieces here and there where there's more code required that I haven't implemented yet. For example, the other day I actually went to the Divine Tree and then to the Moon and fought the final boss. It didn't go well, but I did it.
Alright, so we're just fighting some minor mobs on our way to Hellena Prison. For those of you who never realized, think about the name there. Hellena Prison. Hell in a prison. It is definitely on purpose. That crate is like half visible. I'll take it.
Yeah, as you progress, they get increasingly more difficult to see. No.
Another burnout. And once we get to Hellena Prison, I will update the music as well.
And you have to use the Hellena Prison music.
Henry says, not gonna lie, no offense, but the script could definitely use some TLC. Yes, we will be providing any community-created text mods that we can throw in there. We've got the first disc from The Flying Zamboni. That was the first script mod that we know about. And Voidwave recently did one several months ago, I want to say, 5-6 months ago, maybe, who completed all 4 discs of script, and it is pretty gorgeous.
Yeah, the original is definitely pretty rough around the edges.
We'll be giving people the option to choose which enhancements they want, or if they want to keep the the old localization just for the cheese factor or whatever, or the charm of it. Very few things will be auto include, if I'm not mistaken, Corey.
Yeah, so there are a few enhancements that we are making that will be part of the base. One of those being the save game changes. So that won't require a mod. By default, you'll be able to have unlimited save games. This isn't implemented yet, but you'll actually be able to give your save files names as well. So it won't just be 1, 2, 3. You'll be able to name them whenever you want. Another thing that we will be doing is adding a load game and return to menu button to the inventory menu, so that you don't have to restart the game every time you want to load a save.
I'd like to interject for a moment and just comment on this particular view of Dart. Not only does he have the red pants and even red shoes going on, but it kind of looks like he's wearing a superhero mask around his eyes.
It does.
He's a superhero.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, to be fair,
we need to give him like a cape and everything, because he's so determined but so inexperienced at the same time. Like, someone was just saying in the chat about the whole I can recount the thick piece of meat line, and I'm like, every time I play, that's what you learned out of your 5-year journey of trying to get revenge. You can cook a piece of meat. Like, good job. But also, that's not impressive.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Someone said it's the madness hero.
Yeah.
Yeah, new character. Dart wearing a face mask with a cape. Madness hero.
For anyone who never knew it, if you hold the square button while previewing a location like this on the world map, square will show the service listing. It'll put a bit of a dark effect on the location thumbnail so you can see the text clearly. It'll tell you if there's a save point, hotel, and/or clinic. I think hotel is HP, clinic is static effects, and if there's shops, I think. I forget which ones, but it says there's stuff there.
I'm just gonna throw this out there. I didn't know that, and it's a good thing it worked.
You still didn't? You've been in this community for years.
Yep.
I'm always chucking this stuff in the Discord, and you're just like, I'm good. Keep some surprises.
I'm pretty much a modding hermit.
And instantly, at least three people are like, "What? I didn't know." You're always gonna learn something new in our lovely fandom.
Yep.
I should change the music. Let me do that.
Yes, definitely. XZ asked if this build is publicly available. It is publicly available. We have had it hosted on GitHub since basically day one. Currently, you will either need to run it from code, or occasionally I have been posting compiled builds in the modding channel of the community of the Discord. We've been doing some public testing lately. If anyone is actually interested in doing some testing, just pop over to the modding Discord and ping me. I am Monoxide there. Or I mean, just, you know, you don't even have to ping me. Just send a message. I'm almost always there.
While we're here, I'm actually gonna let the Hellena guard find me. There's no repercussions in the game for this, except that you'll be taken back to try and enter again. So the guard says...
I've never tested this.
Well, we're testing it now.
If it crashes, it's your fault.
We're testing it right now. No save. I could make a save state, but I have another save state I don't want to override right now. This load is rejected. There's some comedy in these lines. If you're like, what if I didn't do the prompt at the right time? So Dart's like, is there any way? And, you know, obviously that's the action. And I think there's actually additional text if it happens again, so I'm gonna try it one more time.
We're having pretty good luck with these completely untested features, so...
Oh, I accidentally hit the X button. I guess we won't see it. Sorry. Instinct just took over me. Took me over. Well, if you play on your own, try to get caught twice in a row, and I think there's additional text on that second catch. But either way, we're gonna enter Hellena Prison. That stealth dart. Yeah, of all the Jeffrey's saying I gotta buy a Ryzen 7800 and a 4090 for the dankest game re-release of all time. If you're excited the most for Legend of Dragoon being ported unofficially, that is fine by me.
Yep.
I mean, some new games.
Though I think it is worth saying that the system requirements for this are going to be extremely low.
Yeah. Interestingly, for emulators, EPSXE seems to work better on older machines, but this will even outdo that on a dinosaur computer. So let's do
dramatically. Like we're talking hundreds of times faster than an emulator.
So we're gonna do a save, and here's another feature that Corey has so graciously given us. Recent save files are pushed to the top of the list automatically. So if you were saved on like slot 14, you don't have to go back down to 14 every time. The game would sometimes go straight to slot 14, but still. So this will allow you to just save in the first slot as your most recent save. So there I am. I don't have to go all the way down to number 43 to go find that.
Yeah, and it's worth noting that I've also added wraparound to most menus. So if, for example, if you're at the top and you press up, it'll take you down to the bottom.
Yeah, so if I hit save, yep. And there we are. Now, you know what this means, Corey. Since there are more than 15 save slots, you're going to have to create a memory card manager like the actual PlayStation 1 and PS2 did, and we're going to have to create new graphic icons for all of those extra save slots.
Oh no, what a shame.
There's 15 for like the main characters. I think Frugal and Lloyd are in there, and even Melbu. We're going to have to add in all the other characters of the game as little icons. Oh, you don't know what you got yourself into.
Yeah, unfortunately we are going to need infinite icons.
We'll just set the program to like reuse from the current set and like recolor them, kind of like reskinned enemies, like the oh god, the white ape versus the mountain ape, you know, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Berserk mouse and plague rat, right?
Yes, yeah, I think that's the name.
It's like I have all the data of the game in my head, but some of it's foggy. I'm discovered. So merchant calls the guard on you. It's the same merchant who was like, "Oh no, there was someone was in my wagon." So the first Hellena warden, and the screen gets all wigged out as you can see. The camera loses its centering, and that'll all be adjusted, of course.
Yeah, the combat camera is still in pretty rough shape, but we'll get there.
Look, for how the game is more realistic than anime-based, because they changed the art direction of the game, it's still pretty much an acid trip with some of the spells like Psych Bomb and the dragon attacks, so like this is just a reflection of that. We should keep this. Wait till they see what happens when a counterattack occurs.
Yeah, we'll save that. Just show.
So we want to buy a couple items here. I'll maybe get a spark net. Yeah, I want spark nets, so I'm not using fire on fire people. No, I'm fine. And let's continue. Now, if you don't dilly-dally, this can be a really short dungeon, so we probably won't spend too much time here. Actually, Dart is, like, invisible right now. His arm and his head, and that's it.
Yeah, that's the same issue that makes some of the treasure chests invisible.
Oh, Dart.
Claire asked, so this mod wasn't a graphic overhaul too, or was that a little difficult? So this is not really a mod. It is a full re-implementation of the game for Windows, Linux, Android phones, whatever. But using this platform, we will have a modding platform, and modders will be able to basically do whatever they please with it.
Yeah, this is just setting up the base running of the game. Everything else will be an addition, if you will.
Yeah. Also, did I see you just climb up that ladder while that guard wasn't looking?
I did.
That's another thing I didn't know you could do.
You can always skip that guard. You didn't know?
No.
Oh, all right, that's fine. I am gonna. So this is. I'll show it in a minute. That save point beam is one of the longest I've seen so far. I'm gonna try and get the invisible chests if they're invisible. Yep, I couldn't see it, but I got it.
Nice.
Fool, that's only an angel's prayer. You don't need that.
Yep, secret items.
Fool, I already drank that potion. It's empty. I want to do that. Oh, I'm having too much fun. Oh my god.
XZ, the current build is for Windows. Getting it running on Mac or Linux is very trivial. I just need to bundle the appropriate libraries. Android is a bit more of a task because we need to rework the input. Input on a phone is quite a bit different than on a computer, of course.
Where's the chest? No. Where are these chests?
You can do it.
I know there's one in the sunken area. I think there's 3 in this area. One of them, I want Shauna's clothing because that's a big defense boost.
Yes, definitely.
Oop! I barely made it. So as you'll see, with counterattacks, it changes the color of the surrounding background. Now, in the previous build, it made all of the stone gray, but now it's all brown. I did not see that coming for you.
It may very well be completely situational. It could change depending on like where the combat was, etc.
I think I found it. 50 gold. So there's another chest around here that has the, you know, hunting for invisible Stardust is one thing. Hunting for invisible chests is worse. This is worse.
New mod idea.
This has got
hard mode.
This
invisible chests.
Oh, that's too rough, yo. Like this has gotten worse. Where's the third chest? Somebody tell me in the chat where the hell.
I believe in you.
Where the hell is
Come on,
the?
Chat. Come through for us.
Where's that leather vest or whatever it's called? I think
I got to be honest with you. I tried to find it and I couldn't.
So the Angel's Prayer was here. Next to the other
bed on the left. It's in your heart.
Thank you. Thank you. Not looking forward to more of this, Corey.
Well, you got yourself into this.
Like scaling those walls for Hellena 2 for like the pandemonium and everything is gonna be a nightmare. I'm okay with it.
I did get all those.
So look at
most of those render.
Look at how tall this save point is. It is so tall.
I don't know. I think Frugal might be overcompensating.
Can we make that a feature, please?
Tall save points. Definitely.
Save points stretch into the air. I mean, come on. Back in the 90s, we had big head mode. Now we need something new to take over and hype things up and be a new fad.
Yeah.
So the Knights of Basil are being toyed with by the wardens. Actually, the knight on the right kind of looks like they're fused with the warden. And this bug is part of the base game on PS1. It says the name of the person speaking in yellow, but this says Hellena Warden Initiate. I think that would mean like initiate maybe, but that is a garbage character.
Yeah, that's actually funny. I don't know if I had a different version of the game or what, but I've never seen that bug before. Even on the set of ISOs that I have, I don't think it has that bug.
Let's do enemy attack. Yep, I think this is the right music. Corey, can you grab that question in the Discord livestream chat?
Let me see. No, this project is not closed off at all. It's actually open source on GitHub. If you pop into the modding channel on the community Discord, there's a lot of people in there who would be willing to help you get set up. We might as well answer a couple more questions here too.
While you're reading, I'm going to quickly point out Lavitz has gold leggings, and I am into it. Gold armor mod incoming.
See, all these bugs are just giving you ideas for mods.
Yeah, we're going to have to review this live stream later and just take a bunch of notes. Oh my god, that looks really cool.
It does.
He looks
honestly.
like matches Kaiser, you know?
Yeah, I'm into it.
Alright, over to you.
Someone asked if it will run on Steam Deck. I have to be honest with you, I'm not familiar with the Steam Deck at all. If it runs Linux, then yes. For input on Android, do you think a UI overhaul for battles is feasible? Yes, we are in full control of the code. Long story short, we are actually doing UI overhauls for a lot of things, since we will be able to render a much higher resolution than the original 320 by 240.
Harpoon! That's my impromptu
Yeah, you gotta make the sound effects.
We actually do have some UI improvements already kind of in progress and functional through other means. We did a test. Zychronics did a test? Someone did a test. So the encounter icon over Dart's head that goes from blue to yellow to red, that got sharpened. We also had a volunteer, I think Mr. Seles, who recently returned to the Discord today or yesterday, had months ago done some portraits to update the portrait icons either in battle and or in the menu. So, I mean, there's a whole lot of community stuff going on there. And if any of you have even the slightest bit of skill with art or voiceover or whatever, or would like to help us with any other project, no skill required on some of them, you know, head over to the Legend of Dragoon Discord server. Maybe Corey, if you can throw them a link in chat. All of our developments happen in Discord first, and then after that we put that news through LOD.org, legendofdragoon.org I should say. We don't have LOD.org. That is a Lightning on demand website, an old website about lightning and thunder. And so it kind of goes from Discord to the website, and then we syndicate that on Facebook and Reddit and all that stuff. You know, it's kind of fun to battle with this particular music.
We got a couple other quick questions. Possible to upscale to 16 by 9. So the answer to that is yes and no.
Yep.
For combat is completely rendered in 3D. so we can, in fact, upscale that to 16 by 9. The world map, I mean, it's a square anyway, so you know we could, but you might not see much more. Things like towns and Hellena dungeons, etc. The answer to that is no, not really, due to them using pre-rendered backgrounds. I mean, you know, theoretically we could render them in 16 by 9, but you would see black bars on either side, just because the background images aren't big enough.
Yeah. If everything goes well, we'll be able to have some kind of dynamic adjustment. I think you told me that was okay, Corey?
Yeah, it actually already does that even. The game does use variable resolution. The combat resolution's actually a little bit lower than the rest of the game. And that is a retail thing. Someone else also asked, where did that question go? No, the HP and MP being rendered in red is not intentional. That's another rendering bug. Just kind of one of those things that's, you know, a bit lower priority until we get some of the bigger things taken care of.
Alright, Lavitz has officially joined our party.
Excellent. Now you actually have a use for that Angel's Prayer.
Ooh.
Foreshadowing.
Got another spark net. Frugo's coming, Frugo's coming, Frugo.
You would, you'd think that they would take these things away from the prisoners. Just, you know, kind of leaving these people in their cells with powerful magic.
And restorative items? You want them in a weakened state, don't you?
Yeah.
Oh, run away! Uh-oh, contact. You know, I'm realizing if we did leave in the really tall save points, I want to be able to touch it from the top part and still save. Just
we'll see about that.
The platform I'm currently on needs to be savable. FYI, we're probably going to give y'all a mod for saving anywhere, so you will be able to probably toggle that on if you want it.
Yeah, that'll definitely be one of the first official mods that we make, is a save anywhere along with autosave. It's another popular request.
Speaking of achievements, we would like to find a way to support achievements. That's up to Corey, but there's already achievements on the RetroArch platform through retroachievements.com or something. It would be really cool if we could create a native set of achievements that just run right there in the client or something.
Yeah, we could definitely do that. Even have, you know, leaderboards and things like that.
Yes. I remember talking to you about, hey, can we do leaderboards for like the Julian vegetable chopping game?
I don't know why we ever would, but yes.
Yeah, why would we not?
I know.
Let's get our priorities straight here, okay? That's like the high score for hitting those animals with like that little scene backdrop with the cardboard cutouts of bushes or whatever.
Yeah.
We have to do it.
We're gonna start an MLG team for the vegetable chopping competition.
Well, that's too far. No. What I said was sensible. What you said was not.
The community will always take it to its logical extent.
Yeah. All right, I think we go over here.
Without exception.
Yep. So here we're gonna find the guards. If y'all never noticed this, most of those guards are just static sprites. The one on the right there is animated, but the other three are just cutouts. Because that saves on resources, apparently. There's another guard with 3 sprites over there. And it's kind of funny, right? Because there are some scenes where, like, there are 8 or more character models on the screen, so why couldn't they do that here? Alright, we've got the key. Acquire the key to Shauna's cell. And Dart's gonna talk to the head warden with all that bravery. And let's open the locked door. And off we go. So we're gonna have a scripted battle with 3 Hellena Wardens and do our thing. I guess I will change the music a little to some battle music. Oops.
Fortunately, those Hellena Wardens were just floating sets of armor.
That'll be later in the Fort Magrad.
Yeah. Are they called Polter or something, or is that something else?
Polter armor.
You're right, yeah.
Some kind of holdover from the Dragon campaign era.
Yeah, we already have people saying that they'll play in the Vegetable League.
Yeah. There's multiple, and hell, once we get through the basic stuff, I wish we could make some entirely new mini games, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, nothing really is out of the question.
Making any kind of new content, we'd like you all to understand that while we do talk about this stuff and it sounds fun and it can certainly get there, new things like that, new mini games, new additions, new D attacks or new magic spells for mods, that is very much stretch goals. We have a lot of work to do before we get to that point.
Yeah, we've got a lot of you know, bugs and things to take care of before we can really commit to doing any like bigger overhauls like that.
Yeah.
Modding existing stuff is a lot easier.
Arthur is asking how long the streams will run. Usually 1 hour, maybe an hour and a half. It kind of depends. I'm okay with doing 2-hour streams or a little bit more than that, but we didn't want this to run too quickly, and we've only really play tested through to disc 1. But I think we're going to try and go all the way through to the end, and also just maybe even start over the playthrough as new milestones are achieved with like improvements and stuff. But basically an hour, hour and a half at most right now.
This is going to have me speed running, working on the codes to keep up with the Friday streams.
Yeah. So we'll probably be done in maybe 30-ish minutes, 30, 35 minutes, something like that. Shauna looks awful. Oh my goodness. Looks like a ghost.
Wow,
from the
rude.
Luvia, what are you doing here? I shouldn't have said that. I'm sorry. I'm having a little too much fun. The attitude is coming out. So Shauna thinks that Dart has changed a lot. I mean,
he lost his legs.
Yeah, Dart, you lost your legs in the war. Oh no. That is And usually people joke about Shauna's legs looking really bad in the 3D model. Like, I remember Sumi-chan, one of my preferred streamers at the time, kept calling Shauna knobby knees, and I just broke down internally every time. So I was like, no, Shauna gets enough hate.
Yeah.
Vorthod says, she's been stuck in hell. Let's see how you would look after that. Which is a very good point indeed. Oh my goodness. Can't wait to get out of here. Looks like a Silent Hill monster. Also, just FYI, you don't have to be here for the live stream to see this. I hate FOMO. Fear of missing out is dumb. I don't believe in it. There's a place for live events, but when possible, I like to make sure recordings are available, so we're going to be doing that. These live streams, if I set it up right, we'll have them automatically come up as like a regular video once the live stream is over, and it'll automatically go into a playlist, and that playlist will grow one more video every week, and you can catch up whenever you want. It'll also include chat replay, so you can see what other people were saying in the moment and all that stuff. I'll do a little guarding and finish off this character, and we can go probably straight to the boss after this, Corey.
Yeah, I think so.
Get a little HP beforehand. I'll probably pay for it by not grinding at least one level. Dart could use an extra 30 HP padding for those constant boulder attacks that may very well show up.
What's the worst that could happen?
Lose and be embarrassed on our first reverse engineering live stream.
That's what save states are for.
I probably know this game better than, just by circumstance it happened this way. I know the game better than any other person on the planet. And if I get a game over on this live stream, I am not coming back.
That's that's the end.
Someone else will run the show. I will retire and maybe move on to some more obscure fandom than this one that only has a total of 5 fans on the planet, so I can never be embarrassed again.
Yeah, exactly.
Someone noticed that it says Dart's got 1 Dragoon level. That is also a visual bug right now.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, it's in the menu. It's in the status screen. It shows the D level percentages, and it might actually show them at D level 5. I have to check.
Yeah, actually, would you be able to show me that when?
Skip the sexist dialogue.
Right.
And we're gonna see Frugal throw someone off the bridge. Oh, so if you haven't seen it yet, I recommend y'all check out the fan dub. If we need to, we can give you a link. It's actually at legendofdragoon.org/news. One of our recent posts is about the fan dub, and you can get a link to the series. The voice acting for the wardens being thrown off the edge is great. I love the warden's screams when they get thrown off the bridge. You have to hear that. It is so good.
I actually have to check that out still.
It's nice to see extras shine, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Frugal's looking a little blue.
Although, we do need even though I like that, we should also do another voice mod with like Wilhelm screams.
Yeah. I'm into it.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, Frugal has seen better days. It's kind of a nice texture almost.
Just trying to accessorize.
It's the broken sigil of Sandora.
Yeah.
There actually is a banner or coat of arms somewhere. Let's ignore that. Now, realistically, the warden would know we're in here. There's no other exit. So the warden should be able to follow us or wait for us when we come out, but that's not going to happen because of old instancing style. Let's get out of here. No other essential items. And we're going to go down. Yeah, right across that bridge is where I want to hit that save point. And if y'all have more questions, please send them. We're going to have a project page up shortly. We're trying to erect project pages for many of our projects. There's already one for Dragoon Modifier right now. And the project page for this one, I didn't put it in yet, Corey, but we should add a fact section, FAQs, underneath the future section maybe, so that there's some frequently asked questions covered there so people can find out real quick their answers.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm going to switch to some boss music.
Good call. XZ asked about the audio. So long story short, the audio in Legend of Dragoon uses a proprietary format that was only, as far as we can tell, only ever used in this game. It might have actually been a prototype of the audio format used on the PS2, seeing as this was a Sony internal development team that was made during the end days of the PS1. We think that because there are some similarities with that format, um, but it is just a huge undertaking to get that audio working. So it's kind of something that's sitting on the back burner because audio is one of the it's not unimportant to a game, obviously, but as far as being able to play a game, it's definitely not as important as things like graphics and controls.
All right, here we go for the boss battle. I don't know if this is the right boss music, but right now I don't care. We're fine. Oh, Dart did get an extra level up, so that's good.
There you go.
Let's just do some additions. Volcano! Finish him off with Shauna. Shauna's speed is actually very handy for this fight.
Yeah.
Alright, now we got the senior wardens. Six damage. And let's keep going. You know, if we get our way, we're gonna try and I would love to see Archer editions. They fun fact, Archer editions were intended at some point in development. We have proof of this. I never say anything that I haven't verified. 99.9% of the time. There's an invisible boulder, ow. So yeah, Archer editions, we found some evidence of them. If I remember right, there's a kind of blanked out table in the game data, but there's also voice files. And these voice files are from the Japanese voice actor for Miranda. And there are several audio lines. I don't remember what they all are. One kind of sounds like Kekkai. Another one is either Life Pulse or Life Force. And Dragon Needle is the one that I'm absolutely sure of. Dragon Needle was one of them. So they were gonna do it. And I would love to see if we can find some way to do it, at least in an Atlo kind of way, if not something better. Very, very, very down the road stretch goal, but I would love to actually try and make use of those lines and maybe get some fan dubbed voice lines as well, so we can have them in English too.
Yeah, we definitely would like to add additions for the archers, and as far as new features go, that's probably one of the less difficult things to implement.
I messed up on the 13 damage with a spark net. Oops. We're probably gonna skip item magic for most of this playthrough until that is improved. Oops, I'm attacking the wrong character. Gotta love invisible boulders. And we had a really nice turnout today. We really appreciate everybody coming down to check out this first ever live stream playthrough of a reverse engineered, albeit unofficial, PC port of Legend of Dragoon.
Yeah, I was surprised at the turnout.
Really, really cool to see this representation from the fandom. Thank you so much. There's we've been, doing cool things for a while, but lately, the last several months, we've been just ascending much faster, it feels like. And I am here for it so much.
Yeah, with the decomp project, the past few months we've basically gone from, almost nothing to, well, this. Like, while you could technically load into the game, Like you could barely even tell what was going on because everything was so very distorted.
Yeah. Early stages, we could barely get Rose on the screen with Fairbrand at the start.
Yeah, the very very first time I got that scene rendering at all, Rose was just a giant disembodied floating head that drifted gently off into the forest.
I didn't equip Shauna's gear, did I?
You spent so much time trying to find
She-
that invisible treasure chest.
She doesn't need it, but it gives her like the best defense in the game at this stage.
Yeah.
Like even physical defense is pretty good. Well, I'm sure Lavitz has higher defense, but you know what I mean.
A couple other questions about the sound. XZ asked if we could implement the sound manually in the program. We cannot ship any game assets, period. That's actually why the ISOs are required. We load all game assets from the ISOs.
Ouch. And done. We've defeated Frugal. Lots of healing potions and a knight shield.
Yeah, there we go. First main boss out of the way.
So I wonder if I increase the internal, will it repair any of those models? Nope, still invisible.
Invisible, but at higher resolution.
Higher res invisible is still invisible, Corey.
You're not wrong.
No, I'm not. So in this next scene, we've revealed this before just throughout fandom on Discord and other things, but this scene upcoming where they're escaping on horseback and the bridge is raised right here. These use beta models. If you look right here, Dart has a lower poly model, and I believe Shauna does as well. It's a completely different
That's
model
interesting.
with different textures. We don't really get a good look at Lavitz, but Dart and Shauna have lower res models like almost exclusively for that scene. So now that, you know, Frugal is below a bridge, when he's angry, would he throw Warden up to the bridge and then fall over the other side?
These are the real questions we have to ask.
Or would he bother to walk to the front of this screen to throw someone off the ledge of that fence there? Oh, the Wardens are just going to get the hell out. They got their orders.
Yeah, ideas for an expansion.
Some particles do work. As you can see, the flame effects for these little lanterns and torches are pretty functional looking. The hooded man. No, I guess it's time to get rid of the battle music. And peace between hills, whispering of the trees, maybe. Yeah, we'll do that. I think I have to
Guard
go-
toss minigame.
Guard toss. Oh, hey, that would be. Oh, we should do that. It'll be a single player minigame where just Frugal has to throw as many people off a bridge as possible, and there'll be a high score for like the number and also like farthest thrown. Kind of like that sandbag minigame from Smash Bros. Melee where you have to hit the sandbag as hard as you can, you know, something like that.
Or PvP guard toss minigame where two Frugals have to compete to see who throws the most guards off.
Oh my gosh. Now we're getting into like Mario Party territory, and I have to say yes. Let's do a 4-player minigame where everyone's on slippery stepping stones in limestone cave and see who is the last one to not fall off.
Yeah, here we go. Guard dodgeball.
Oh gosh. Loudest guard scream. Okay. If we haven't achieved ultimate meta yet, we have now.
Oh, and by the way, just throwing a quick planned mod out there. Speaking of PvP, we do plan on implementing PvP combat.
Oh, you're gonna tell them now.
Yeah, gotta dangle a little bit out there.
That's yeah. All right. So yes.
That's just the tip of the iceberg.
I had previously mentioned, and other people have mentioned, the potential of limited PvP. Obviously, LOD shouldn't just be a multiplayer game. We don't want to, ruin the scope. But within the context of the lore, such as the hero competition, we can justify, having battles there where, whether it's a player versus environment and you're just fighting escalating bosses. This is done in Golden Sun as well. Golden Sun was a Game Boy Advance RPG, and depending on how far along you were in the game with your save file, you could enter battle mode and it would show you the bosses you fought so far with that save file. Sometimes it would repeat the same boss every couple rounds, but you would just survive as long as you could on like a single set of equipment and items. So we could do some kind of thing like that. We could also do player versus player and see if we can arrange 3-on-3s or 1v1s, or potentially, did you say we could do like 6 different players, each controlling one person, or what were you saying about that?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So yeah, that all sounds wild and impossible, but if Corey says it can be done, listen to Corey. I've never seen
Dragoon Battle Royale. There we go.
Well, let's be careful with that. Alright, so the wardens can't find us. We will be safe and we can continue. We'll see how Dart has gained so much experience in 5 years of pursuing the Black Monster that he still doesn't know how to fell a tree.
It's complicated stuff. Can you blame him?
Apparently. So if I remember right, the pattern is what? What am I looking at? There's no water.
I wouldn't worry about it.
I didn't see this before. There's no water. This looks like...
I wouldn't worry about it.
Normally in a river, like, it's just a few feet down and then you see the ground, but that looks like a bottomless chasm from Minecraft, okay? I am not screwing with this. No. We're gonna just stay here for a while.
If you must. I mean, it makes it a little bit more reasonable that they couldn't cross it.
Oh my gosh.
I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, the river's like, you'll think twice about crossing me.
Global warming has been awful in endiness.
Oh, we gotta heal up here. This is awful. Oh my gosh. What was I saying? Oh, the pattern. River, tree... Oh, wow, the textures look really bad. River, tree, X, tree, river is the pattern. I've seared it into my mind.
Yep.
I'll memorize anything I can to get rid of like the 100 and something digits of pi that are stuck in my head, which I haven't practiced since 7th grade. Like, actually 20 years ago or more, and it's still in my head even though I don't want to remember that many digits of pi. Pi is a cool concept, but I could be putting anything else in there that I actually want to remember. I gotta see, someone said, I gotta see what the log looks like when it comes down. Like, is it actually gonna render? Is it just gonna be like, okay, it's a bottomless chasm, you have to walk this log that is next to the stones, not even on top of the stones, it's just glued to the stones sideways.
Yep.
Some weird, like, Moonchild shenanigans going on there. Dart's like, what?
To be honest with you, I actually don't know how well it would render because at the time when I played through that area, the rendering did not work nearly as well.
Okay, well, we're gonna
So
find
this
out.
is gonna be a surprise for me too.
I would just like to mention, we will probably be closing the stream pretty soon here. So we'll probably end going into, what is it, Limestone Cave?
Yes,
And
that's
we'll-
coming up soon.
We'll start with Limestone Cave. Shauna is the highest level, tied with Dart. We're gonna give Shauna the leather jacket, so that's 20.
Yes, you should equip that now.
Well, I wanted to do the thing where you can highlight something so you can see like the actual. I can't see the normal. Oh, status. Let's do status. So Dart has 14 defense. Lavitz has 21 defense, and Shauna has 25 defense. It's with the Night Shield, but let's take off the Night Shield and let's try that again. So we take off the Night Shield, check the status. Dart's got 14, Lavitz has 21, Shauna has 15. Shauna has higher defense than Dart. People got nothing to say about Shauna's tank ability.
Yep.
I tell you what.
We're definitely going to improve some of these inventory menus. Make it a lot easier to compare different pieces of gear and stuff.
Because as it is, it's sandwiched. This is all sandwiched in.
Yeah. They were very, very restricted with what they could actually do on the PS1, just due to the small size of the screen.
Here's the status I wanted to show you before, where Dart's Dragoon percentages are shown. I don't know which D level those stats represent, those multipliers, but that is a thing that should not be showing yet.
Interesting. Hey, if there's anyone from the modding channel in the stream, can someone log an issue for that? Thank you.
Dragoon spoilers. Because you're totally not getting spoiled in the title.
Yeah. No, definitely not. Thank you, Zamboni.
Boba One Mighty says, been playing LOD with my girlfriend who loves Final Fantasy VII. At first she wasn't sure, but now she loves it. We're on Disc 4. So congratulations.
Very nice.
It's always nice to have new fans, especially someone we care about and would like them to share in our fandom a little bit. Dart's like, Shauna learning, that's something new. And I'm like, Shauna was 13. You didn't need to know anything at 13. You're a kid. Also, here's the Anteater horse. I love that. I always call it the Anteater horse.
Yes.
Sounds like a regular horse, but it's an Anteater horse. Let's get the invisible item. Or hidden, I should say, not invisible. Which aptly is total vanishing. If I remember right, these moles are a little tougher.
Playing as Lloyd is a possibility. That'll come later once we get to a point where we're actually working on mods. The modding API will eventually allow for creating new characters wholesale, which of course would, you know, allow using models from whatever characters you'd like.
I want to play as Dragoon Dole.
You can mod whatever you want.
One of my fantasy teams is the enemy Dragoon trio of Dole, Graham, and Linus. Just make it a complete spectacle, and
Yep.
and you'll fight multiple bosses, so it's not too easy. Someone wants to play as Dabas. Well, technically, we are going to do something with that, Corey.
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah. We'll just leave that
as is
for now. Eagle-eyed viewers may have even spotted something about it in the stream a few times.
Easter eggs. Da, 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 da.
Check out our VOD.
the out in the open, totally hidden secret.
Yeah.
Do, 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 dun, 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 dun. Let's get a little HP back for Shauna, and let's nuke this kiwi. Fun fact, vampire kiwis used to be water elements back in the Japanese demo. Actually, we have a lot of information from the demo discs recently that has been... I haven't reported it yet, but we found it. I think I asked, or Zychronics found, and then we spiraled from there. A bunch of extra data about enemy and character stats. All of the enemies have different stats with their HP and their MAT and their MDF and all this stuff. Their speed values changed, and if I remember right, we were going to have a lot more magic points, MP, and spells were going to cost more.
Yes, I think that was the thing.
Everything was scaled a lot higher.
Yeah, speaking of New Game Plus, we are actually going to implement a New Game Plus feature where you'll be able to choose what you want to carry over.
A formal one where you don't have to risk corrupting your save file.
Yeah, exactly.
So we've got Dart with his hero mask around the eyes, telling his story about the black monster.
I think you mean the Madness hero.
Yeah. Okay. I was
It's a thing.
gonna save the Madness hero thing for the Tekken mod, you know.
All right.
Which I could show that off, but I'm not really equipped, so I will just wait on that for now.
Yeah, the gold boots. Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of RuneScape, where you can get gold trimmed armor. Wow, Claire looks a lot different. Wow.
Yeah.
Like the clothing looks more detailed. And the hair is two colors. But Zeeg is mostly the same. Oh my goodness. Also, I'm still running the Prairie music while this terrible tragedy is unfolding. Just an easygoing day and neat.
It's fine. Everything's fine.
Also,
This is fine.
do you ever really like? There's a lot of things in LOD that we see and we know it's there, but we don't actually like fully conceive of in the moment. Their trees are massive.
Yeah.
Absolutely massive to fit people inside of them.
Yep. Big enough for a child to shelter inside of.
Yeah, like you could start a campfire in there. What the hell? And always nice to play nice music to a tragedy.
Yeah.
Well,
Really light in the mood.
we'll be flashing back shortly. I wanted to focus on some of the speech and just making sure I don't stay paused on the game for too long, making people wait.
Yeah.
And here we'll find the mysterious memento on the floor. Oh, I should have mentioned at the start, spoilers are probably a given in these live streams. I've already spoiled some of the game. If you... I'm sorry. If you haven't completed the main story, here's your motivation to go play LOD all the way through and then watch our VODs and our live streams. It's going to be impossible for me not to slip on some kind of spoiler. Tori Scott says, I said this in Discord, but the particle effects were crazy for the time. That is true. Although some other games definitely had good particles and effects. They put a lot of money into the graphics for this game, including the visual design. They even said in an interview that smoke was new for them, and smoke was really challenging. And you've also got the running water as well.
Don't even get me started on. I'm not exaggerating when I say probably 93% of the game code is just rendering and visual effects, and then probably 75% of that code is particle effects. It's insane.
Alright, so we've got the plan. We're gonna try and find out more. We're gonna continue. Gotta get that tree. Okay, so the tree is rendered here. Looks a little different.
Now for the moment we have all been waiting for.
The blade won't last with this. Dart, I don't think the blade is the problem here. River tree X. Oops. Yeah, so you'll see here the transition between different background scenes will also be quick.
Again, that's something that I haven't even optimized yet.
Let's take a quick rest. Because I can't find my pants, so let's take a rest. I'm gonna search this shack. They must have fallen off. Oh, my belt buckle was undone. Okay.
Oh, jeez, as soon as you picked up that axe, you...
Well, that's actually what happened. See, when he picked up the axe, it swung around and clipped his belt.
Yeah.
There's lore here, don't you know?
Yeah.
I'm going the wrong way because I'm distracted.
So I gotta be honest with you. I'm pretty sure you can just kick that tree.
Ah, I got away on first try. Running works. Didn't test it. Yeah, how about when Kongo joins the party? Dart's like, hey, so I have this old axe. Do you need it? Kongo just gives him a look and winces his eyes.
Yep.
Alright. It may work as a bridge. It could be worth trying. Okay, that sounds great, right? So now you look at the tree. It's very close to falling over already. There is like a 3% of it is still connected, right? And it's leaning out over the cliff. So you would want to like lash it with a rope. So you could pull it the other way. Oh my, I cringe every time.
Yeah.
What did you think was gonna happen? You can't just hold it from one side like that. I wish, you know what? Let's mod the cutscene, okay? Let's mod the cutscene so that while they're holding the base of it after it's been cut, Dart and Lavitz just fall in the river and Shauna starts laughing hysterically, okay? Let's just make that a thing, please.
Done.
Because that was a very, very dumb thing, and they should have paid for it.
Also, like, that was a pretty clean cut to start with. Who's going around half cutting through trees and then just leaving them?
Well, the woodcutter, obviously. The one who lives here? Oh.
The one that we just stole the axe from?
You might want to make a note that the encounter icon is over Dart's face.
Yeah, a little bit.
Like, his face is danger right now. Oh my gosh.
Is it?
You cut out there. Corey, you still with me, buddy? So we didn't say this yet, but it was possible that Corey might get cut off during the stream. There is a hurricane coming in, and possibly a storm from the other side, from inland USA, heading up to Canada. So Corey may find themselves needing to take shelter at some point, or the internet may cut out. So that may be what's happening now. I'm not sure. We always want to make sure anyone doing this stuff is safe first. I can do it solo. I'm good. Ed Bleach says, how much tree can a tree cutter cut if a tree cutter could cut trees? We need to make that a thing. That needs to be like a new fandom thing that we say. I really like that. Thank you, Ed. Thank you, Tori. Oh, and I wanted Corey to be here to see what happens with the tree. Oh no, I'm gonna... Alright, looks like he is typing. I'll check my stats real quick here. Nothing to equip. How are my additions doing? Level 2 Volcano and level 2 Harpoon. Let's do Spinning Cane. So they had a momentary power flicker, and the router needs to reinitialize. So that's what's happening now. So I'll let Corey come back in a moment, and then we'll reveal the river, or lack of river, and we'll close the stream a few minutes after that. Really appreciate everyone sticking around this long for all of the discussion stuff and Q&A and everything, and seeing this all unfold for the first time. Yeah, I'll just do some battles. I know how to grind, but I didn't think of it in the moment. Just like, well, I can't do new encounters, I'll just have to wait till he gets back, and then I can do encounters again. Whoops. What is exactly different about this version from the original, asks Mike. Well, Mike, it's mostly behind the scenes, a rebuild. What we're doing is Corey's reverse engineering the game. Now, normally, in order to rebuild a game like this, you would want the source code. Number one, even if the source code was available, that would be illegal to do without Sony's permission. But what is legal to do is to reverse engineer it. And so we're just kind of rebuilding it from the ground up to be more optimized, even more so than emulation software can do. So this is going to outdo RetroArch and Beetle, this is going to outdo DuckStation, this is going to outdo EPSXE and all the other ones. And it also increases our modding capabilities so that we can do way more new stuff than could be easily done in regular emulation software. So you don't see a lot of it right now, but we already have a few enhancements such as, well, I can't save right now, but we have like infinite save slots already, quicker load times, things that just aren't in even the best emulators for LD.
I am back.
Hello.
And I am connected via cellular now, so if
Excellent.
the power goes out again, I will still be here.
Okay. Well, we're gonna go check out the tree.
You waited for me.
I did. Here it comes. Oh, it's rendering. It's floating in the air. Woo! It's just
amazing.
Glued to the side of the stone, because who cares about gravity? Dart should be like, why? Let's do a mod where we like undo the optimizations and reintroduce the graphic glitches, a glitch mod or something, and Dart can say like, why is it to the side? Shauna, do you know something about this? No. Honestly, like if you look at those stones right to the right of Dart's head and that little one right above that edge of the tree branch there, it's like those stones are floating almost, like the Valley of Corrupted Gravity preview here.
Yeah.
I don't think I need that item, but we'll go for it anyway. And then once we finish in the Prairie, we will conclude the stream. Do, 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 do. do, 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 do. These songs are so catchy. Let's do a peace mod, Corey, where like you just no battle music, only the location music when entering battles.
I mean, I do plan on actually making, adding like audio settings and stuff. I know this is kind of, only tangentially related, but you'll be able to like level and mute the various types of audio in the game.
That would be great.
Music, addition voices, etc., etc.
That'll be awesome. I'm a big nerd for granularity of settings like that.
Yeah.
Oh, we got an Angel's Prayer out of that battle. Cool.
Nice.
And another one. Alright. We'll take the optional dialogue to give this family some help. So they're upset because they think Basil is to blame. So the conditions in Kazas are awful. They wanted to get away. And Lavitz wants to offer them some support and refuge. Give them a haven in Basil territory. You know, a really missed opportunity is they should have shown up in Lavitz's mother's house if he suggested that they go there. Right?
Yeah. That would have been good for continuity's sake.
Let them do the cooking, and that way Shauna can actually get a tour of the house like Dart. It's assumed to be just some, placeholder piece of food, whether it's a, bread or an apple or something from our pack. If we look at the actual literal stuff of the game, we only have healing potions, so we just assume it's some other kind of organic food. Alrighty, so we have reached
here we go.
What's that?
Here we go. We have completed what is basically the first chapter of the game.
We have.
And without even a single crash.
Nope. Don't jinx it, yo. Do not. If that happens next stream, I'm gonna blame you for that.
Hey, so I have to be honest with you. It's pretty stable.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive for this early of stages.
Not to toot my own horn, but like it's working way better than I ever expected that it would.
You're allowed to be happy that you did cool things, okay? So just to recap, we just did a first ever playthrough of this reverse engineered unofficial PC port that has yet to have a final name, possibly Severed Chains, possibly Reloaded, without the A in Reloaded because I love D. And we showed you some of where the build is at right now with the graphics and the gameplay, just to get it back to where it originally was, and some enhancements as we go, such as a recent save file. So if you save down here, then it'll come back to the top, so you can easily go, so whatever save you're working on, it'll be slot 1 automatically. Infinite save slots, so you can have hundreds of save slots if you want to. And quicker transitions in general. You can see how quickly, like if I save right now, is that the right one? Yeah. It's instant. No more waiting to save your file, save your game. And there we are. So thank you all so much for tuning in to this live stream. I'm sad that it's ending, but we have been going for like an hour 45, so that's plenty of time. We'll be doing this again next Friday, unless some emergency comes up. We'll try to let you know. But Friday next week, September 30th at 7 p.m. Central, 8 Eastern. We'll also put a link in our news post so that you can see in your local time zone, or you can go to the YouTube video link we give you and click the notify option, so you'll get a little like bell notification on your phone or whatnot. Corey,
thanks everybody for coming to watch. Shout out to my brother Rosanek for all of the great ideas for Hellena minigames. And we will see everyone next week, hopefully.
Y'all take care. Remember, we'll have these VODs available in a playlist on this YouTube channel for the Legend of Dragoon fandom as well. Until next time, everybody, you take care and good night.
Night.
Have a good weekend. Bye.